Hi and welcome. This is Rodolfo Young, and today we're going to be going over the foundations of marketing made easy. We're going to be changing the paradigm of what marketing really is. So get ready, get your pens out, no paper. We're going to jump right in.
Here's one of the things that I always get when I talk about marketing is people have no idea what it is they do. If I was to ask James, if I ask you, what is it you do?
I'm an engineer. We've rehearsed this.
If it wasn't without the rehearsal and the tips that I gave you the other day,
Okay.
what would you normally say?
I teach Biodanza, which is like a dance for life, and I teach improvised comedy, which is just a lot of fun and people coming together for laughs and expression.
Okay. When we market ourselves, we tend to do this. We go, well, we get really quiet. Why are we afraid to promote ourselves? So we'll talk a little bit about being confident. It's one of the key ingredients of what we'll talk about, is being confident in promoting yourself because you deserve it. You've done some work, you've studied some knowledge, you have it to share, you can share it loudly. What I was saying a moment ago is that when we talk about what we're doing, we often say what our title is and what the skill set is. And if I was a yoga teacher, or if I teach biodanza, or if I teach a comedy improv, which is what he was just saying, if I say these things, it doesn't mean much to people. They kind of look and they go, okay, well, yeah, I don't really do yoga, or oh, comedy improv, I'm not funny. You know, our minds can get in the way and can start to really sabotage what the marketing effort is that the person's doing. So rather than talking about what it is you do, talk about what it does. So if I was to take James as example, so James teaches biodanza, which is a dance form, and he does comedy improv. He holds space for comedy improv workshops. So the way that I would market myself if I was James is I would say, James, would you ask me what is it that I do?
Yeah. What do you do, Rodolfo?
Well, it's funny you ask. You know, I love movement. I love expressing. I love getting to just go out. Like, have you ever just gone out on the street and just danced like nobody was watching? Well, it's kind of what I do. I lead these things called biodanza. They're workshops where people just get to express themselves, just get to be themselves. I give a couple tips here and there, but really it's about your unique expression. Was that a little more intensive, passionate, like something you would be, yes, I want to try this?
Yeah.
Wonderful.
It's just like that, by the way.
It is. I've been there. Testimonials are another really good way to market. So the idea here is that before you can market anything, before I can even teach you how to market, you need to know what it is that you're doing. You need to know that you're doing it because you are passionate about it. If you're not passionate about it, you're not going to be able to market. And I would be irresponsible to give you the tools right now to market something that you haven't really found as your passion. This is going to be one of the key things that we do today. Today's agenda, we're going to cover the necessary ingredients, which is going to be passion, confidence, and clarity. We're going to talk about marketing by example, irresistible advertising, creating value, finding your tribe and creating relationships, harnessing the internet, and what you can start with now. So I'm willing to bet that before I really get into this, you're wondering, who am I? My name's Rodolfo Young. I'm about 30 years old. I live here in Ubud. I like long walks on the beach now. I was born in Mexico. I grew up in San Diego, California. Oddly enough, after high school, I made a crazy choice and signed an 8-year contract with the U.S. military. You wouldn't imagine it like this, right? It was a different life. But one of the things that I learned while I was there, the specific job I did with them was PSYOP, Psychological Operations, which meant that we would find a target audience, we would find out what their vulnerabilities were, and we would use that to create a message to persuade them, convince them, use propaganda to do something. Sounds a little like marketing. Only now I do it differently. There's a new conscious way to market. That was kind of an abusive, manipulative way. I'm happy I'm done with that. Now there's a new way, and it's finding a target market, finding out where their issues, their weaknesses are, their vulnerabilities, and finding how to support them, how to solve that for them. So this is what when you start to look at what it is you want to offer, what it is that your passion is, what it is you're marketing, don't think about what it is you want to give the person. Think about what it is they want and need. That's where your marketing will be most effective, is if you frame it in that way. You're always framing your marketing as what somebody else already has said they want. I'll give you a quick example. I was doing some business consulting for the Suli Resort and Spa. Some of you may know of it. And Rini, the proprietor there, she took me all the way out to Singapore for this big conference where they were having all the travel agents, and the Singapore embassy came in, and we did a bunch of stuff to market and to network. Now, we sat down at this little table, people were starting to come to us, and Rini turns to me and goes, okay, this is your show, I'm going to let you do it. Now I'm sitting there going, well, I've never done anything in the travel industry, I've never done anything with this kind of thing. My expertise isn't marketing, but I have no idea what these people want. So when somebody would come and sit down in front of us and they'd say, okay, so what is it you guys are doing? I'd say, actually, you know what I always like to start off with? I always like to find out what it is that you guys are doing, because it gives me an idea better of what to share with you. And so then the travel agents that were coming and sitting with us, they'd start to tell me, oh, well, we do packages for 2-3 night stays and retreats, and we do this and this. Our area of expertise is over in Indonesia and in this and this. And they started telling me all these things, and once they were done, I said, that's such an amazing coincidence. You know exactly what it is we do at Suli Resort? We offer these 2 to 3 day retreats. I'm nudging Rini going, we need to set this up. And we do this and this and this. So find out who you want to work with, and then what they need, what they want, market there. With whatever your passion. A little bit more about where I'm coming from and kind of where my expertise and my experience is. So in 1999, I attended my first 10-day Vipassana meditation course. When I attended this, has anybody here attended a Vipassana course before? 10-day silent retreat. They're intense, right? Really insightful, really just mind-blowing. And when I came back, I was so inspired. I'd had so many insights, so many visions, even though you're not really supposed to be focusing on that during the process. I came back with so much that I wanted to teach, and it was the beginning of my teaching career. And I was an undergrad student at the San Diego State University at the time. And I went to the dean of the Religious Studies department. And I asked her, very randomly, I said, you know, I just had this experience, and I have all these insights, and I really want to share them. Is there any possibility that I could have space here at the university to do that? I don't need to be paid. I know students wouldn't get credit as a class kind of hour thing, but could they come and learn whatever it is I'm sharing? And the woman looked at me and she goes, well, no. One, you're an undergraduate, you're not even a graduate student. There's no way we could give you that kind of resource. And two, we have no idea what you're sharing and why. Parents would really be wondering this. The politics, it just wouldn't work. So I started to walk out, and before I left, she asked, well, why is it though you're so inspired? I said, well, I just did this Vipassana course. She goes, you do Vipassana? I said, yes, I just did a course. She said, I do Vipassana. I said, oh, that's wonderful. She says, hold on. She gets on the phone. About 5 minutes later, I had a classroom for the rest of the year dedicated to me, with full projection, smart room, all the gadgets and everything. So Vipassana was huge for me in getting started, and it's another demonstration of where, if you're passionate about something, if you're coming to somebody that can then relate to that passion, which means this is where you're finding your tribe, which we'll talk about later, stuff happens, things unfold. Then in 2007, I opened the Center for Connection. It's a nonprofit organization. It still exists. It's in San Diego. And within months, we had a membership base of over 1,000 people. Now, for me, when I started this, not really knowing marketing, not really knowing what I was doing, I thought I was doing phenomenal. I thought, wow, I've got this down. I know how to attract people. I know how to get them in, how to go with services, this and that. Well, here was the thing. This is what I discovered by 2009, 2 years later, when I lost everything. It's easy to attract people when you say it's free. And it was a nonprofit organization. Everything was free. Now here's what I'm going to tell you, because later on we're going to talk about pricing, and I'm also going to clarify something about this workshop, which also is free. When you're providing information, when you're giving information, but it's not your main service, like if you're information service, don't do this. But if you're just giving information about something, a topic that you're an expert in, it's perfectly fine, and I would highly recommend and suggest give it out for free. Because it attracts the people that are part of your tribe. Once they're there, when I say tribe, I mean the audience that's going to relate the most to your services. It attracts those people, and then once they're there, just like you guys are here, you can speak to them, share with them your expertise, share with them what it is you're doing, and now you're doing marketing directly to the people you want to be reaching. So only do this, only give it free if information is not the main service you're doing. You never, ever want to give your service away for free. So what I was doing with this center, I was giving massages away for free, we had workshops for free, we had presentations and gatherings, all sorts of community events, all for free. And it sustained itself for the most part, but when I started to have some financial issues and I sent a big thing out to this 1,000+ membership and said, hey, we need some support, we've got this and this going on. Out of 1,000 people, I got one person that responded. This was a big wake-up call. It told me that I hadn't actually found my tribe. It told me that I had found people that enjoyed my services, that enjoyed what I was offering, but weren't invested. So when we talk about pricing later, I'm going to talk a lot about why it's important that you get the people you're talking to, the people that are your clients, your customers, invested in what you're doing. Not just partaking, not just receiving, but invested in it. And so I dedicated the last 2 years of my life to a self-discovery and finding out how to market effectively. How to do it in a way that not only am I attracting people, but I'm attracting the right people, I'm holding on to them as a loyal customer, and I'm creating a relationship